Are you one of those people that gets confused about your skincare routine and layering? What does it mean? AHA, BHA, serums. It's a lot. It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to figure out. Everybody's got an answer, but which one is the right answer? Well, I'm going to walk you through today my skincare routine in the morning, what I layer, why I layer it, and all the research that I did to find out the proper method for layering your morning skincare. I'm barefaced, I'm gonna hop in the shower, hop out, and we'll get started. Let's go. What's up, y'all, and welcome to my channel, Balanced Beauty Lover, where I talk about all things balanced lifestyle from the inside out. I'm also a skincare enthusiast, so I love learning about skincare, understanding what makes our skin healthier, and then sharing that information with you. I'm MJ, and if you like this video and other videos on my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that way you can get notifications and updates on when new videos like this pop up, and give me a little like so that way the algorithm can show me just a touch of love. Today we are talking about skincare routines, but not just any, specifically morning skincare routines, and the one that I do involves quite a bit of layering. All of that layering has a purpose. There is a method to the madness. I know it can be confusing because everybody tells you something different, but essentially when you think about layering and your morning skincare routine, it's really about what works best for you, what works best for your skin, how you can solve any skincare concerns you have, and if you just want your skin to just maybe look a little better, feel a little bit better, layering can help with that too. So when I'm going through the process of figuring out how I'm going to build out my skincare routine, there's 3 rules that I like to adhere to. The first rule is, what part of the year are we in? Is it spring? Is it summer? Is it fall? Any different time of the year is going to have a different impact on your skin. You're reacting to whatever the temperature is, whatever the humidity is. All these things are going to affect what your skin is doing, and it definitely affects what my skin is doing, especially in the spring when it's in the middle of allergy season. My skin just ain't going to do what I need it to do. So I'm constantly really having to transition and understand what ingredients and what products and what vitamins are going to be best served at whatever time of year that I'm in. Rule number 2 would be, what location and environment am I in? Am I on the East Coast? Am I on the West Coast? I live on the West Coast, so it's drier, it's hotter, my skin reacts differently to everything. Sometimes it gets oilier because of the dryness in the air. So these are all things that I need to keep in mind. I'm also from the South, so anytime I'm traveling home, it's more humid, so I can adjust and pivot as needed. And then rule number 3 that I'm making sure I'm keeping in mind is, what is my skin saying to me today? My skin kind of goes through cycles, and it really depends on where I'm at in the month. If I'm closer to my menstrual cycle, my skin is going to be very different than it is right after my menstrual cycle. It might be a little bit oilier, it might be reacting to things different, it actually might even be more sensitive at certain times of the month. So it's important for me to truly understand what my skin is telling me on any particular day. If I'm having a breakout, is it hormonal? Am I experiencing stress or mental anguish or emotional distress in my life? All these things contribute to my skin health. So now that we got some rules down of what to maybe look for when you're thinking about your skincare routine, let's talk about the simplistic way of layering. I think the most simple form that you can probably think about it is thinnest to thickest. There's a lot of other things that you can kind of add to that, but just to kind of strip all of that nonsense away, thinnest to thickest is usually the best way to think about it. And that's because your water-based products are going to absorb more deeply into the skin. You're putting on products that are prepping your skin for heavier products. So what you want to make sure to do is, if you have toners, essences, things like that, that stuff is going to go before you have your serums and your moisturizers and your sunscreens. This is probably the easiest way to remember how you're layering. All right, we've got some rules down, and now we have some method to the layering madness. And I'm gonna get started with my routine. So the first thing I do is cleanse. When you're thinking about a cleanser, one thing to think about is what a cleanser's purpose is. It's to obviously cleanse your skin. Now, if you're doing a daytime routine, you don't need to double cleanse, especially if you're doing something at night. You don't have anything to double cleanse off of. If you had a good night routine, you don't need a whole lot. There's some people that recommend just putting water on your face, and this is because cleansers can at times strip the moisture from your skin and strip your skin barrier. That's why it's important to understand the type of cleanser that you're using, and also to make sure you're using a cleanser that is specific to your skin type. I prefer CeraVe, and this is a hydrating facial cleanser. One thing to also keep in mind is pH balance of different products. Now, when you look at pH balance, there's 1 to 14. 1 is the most acidic level of pH, and 14 is the most alkaline. Our skin sits at a 5.5, with 7 being neutral. So our skin is a little bit more acidic than it is alkaline. CeraVe, most of their skincare line all sits in the, I think, like 5 to 7 range. The hydrating facial cleanser is 5.5. So it's perfectly aligned with the pH levels of your skin for it to be at its optimal level. So regardless of anything, make sure you understand whether you have oily skin, combination, dry, or if you have normal skin, because all of that is going to be attributing to the type of skincare products across the board that you're using. So I'm gonna go ahead and cleanse, and then we'll jump into toning. So I've just cleansed and my face is still wet. The other thing I don't do after I cleanse is I don't dry my face. This is just because for a long time, really my whole life, I've dealt with the whole eczema of it all, and I got into a habit, even when I take a shower, of not drying my body. I just let it air dry, let my skin absorb any moisture or liquid it has on it. When you have any sort of skin issue or skin challenge, it's just really being mindful of what's worked and maybe what hasn't worked in the past, so you can just evolve your routine as you go. So now that I have cleansed my face, it's time to tone. And here's the deal. You don't have to tone. It's basically something that you do to enhance the products that you're going to be putting on your skin after the fact. What toning does is it helps to balance the pH in your skin. So I talked a little bit earlier about like pH balance and maybe some of the cleansers that you might be using. Even if you're using one that's a 5.5, when you want to make your skin just a little bit more acidic, so that way it's going to better absorb some of the products that you're going to be using. Most toners are going to sit in between a 5 to 7. There are toners that are underneath the 5, especially toners that have AHA and BHA in it. Those are alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. Because those are actives, they sit on more of the acidic side. I think somewhere in between like the 3.5 and up range. So I use Thayer's. I'm old school, y'all. Like, I'm here for the witch hazel. I grew up in the South. But the challenge with witch hazel and a lot of other witch hazels is that they normally in the past have included alcohol. Theirs is specifically alcohol free. It also has aloe vera. It also has rose water. So it's full of hydrating nutrients that are not going to strip your skin. Anytime you use something with alcohol, it's going to strip your skin. Anytime you're washing your face or you're using something that strips your skin of its moisture, you get that like tight feeling. That's because you basically stripped the moisture out of your skin and you kind of damaged your skin. When you are applying toner, or at least when I'm applying toner, I always put it on like a cotton pad. Not the most sustainable, but it's what we're doing now. And you use a cotton pad instead of your fingers because you're wiping any remaining dirt. Get a deeper clean too. You may have residuals left over from the cleanser. So toners just allow it to go a little bit deeper. It's prepping your skin for what's to come. It's ensuring that your pH levels are at its optimal level to accept a lot of those products. And see, still have stuff. Not cute, but I got it off with the toner. If you have other recommendations about toners or suggestions, definitely leave it in the comments below. I like to identify products that I haven't tried before, but that's gonna work with my skin as well. I have sensitive skin, I have combination skin, so if you all have suggestions on really good toners that fit in that space, then go for it. All right, so now that I have done my toning, my skin is prepped, normally I'd move on to the essence stage, but today I am going to be using a BHA because I do have a little bit of a blemish. So what salicylic acid does is it pretty much exfoliates the skin. It helps with semen control. Semen. Where is my head at? It helps with the control of sebum and oil production in the skin. It helps to balance out the skin. I'm just gonna put a little bit of salicylic on the area that I'm noticing that I'm having my blemish. So we've applied our salicylic acid, and the important thing to note about all of these layering practices is you want to give your skin enough time to really absorb what it is that you're putting on your skin. When I really first started understanding layering, I would read things that say, oh, you don't have to wait. No, you you gotta wait. I made the mistake multiple times of not waiting, and then it'd get to a point where I would put my moisturizer on and my makeup on, and then it would start pilling really bad. This is because I didn't give my skin enough time to absorb the layers. It also could be because you're layering too much. There's only so much your skin is going to be able to absorb, period. All right, so now it's time for my essence. To essence or not to essence? That is the question. Do you really need to essence? No, not particularly, but it does make your skin a little bit better. I love essence. It just makes my skin so supple and soft, and it feels hydrated. When applying essence, you just want to apply a little bit. You don't need much, you just need a few drops. And unlike toner, you're gonna be applying it with your fingers, just pressing it into the skin. As you can notice with a lot of these things, you're gonna be pressing it into the skin. You don't wanna do a lot of rubbing onto your skin. You wanna avoid friction, and pressing absolutely helps with that. When you're thinking about the type of essence to get, Korean skincare products are stupendous. I specifically use, it's not a Korean skincare product, but I'm using Fresh Kombucha facial treatment essence. I use this because it's actually enhanced the look and feel of my skin. I'm trying out next SK2. I've heard amazing things about their products, and I definitely want to give that a try. So next on my list is vitamin C. I like to layer vitamin C specifically in the morning. There's no rhyme or reason or rule behind this that you need to do in the morning versus at night. It's really based off of your personal preference. My personal preference is what vitamin C does. It is an antioxidant. It helps to protect your skin from free radicals in the environment. It also brightens the skin. It helps with collagen production. It helps with maintaining the elastin in your skin. So it does a lot of really amazing things. And I use it in the morning because of the antioxidant aspects of this particular vitamin. The other thing to keep in mind is vitamin C is not just an active, it is also unstable. I want to be mindful of anything that I'm layering as far as actives are concerned. So I don't layer vitamin C with AHAs, BHAs, I mentioned that earlier, niacinamides, lactic acids. These are all other ingredients that are active and that can cause adverse reactions. It's not to say that you can't layer it, it just means that you have to be really mindful of how you're layering it. If you don't want to have to think about all this, because it is a lot, it's like a science experiment that you're doing on your face on a regular basis. Always think about how you can look for products that have the ingredients that you really want to make sure that you're including on your skin. There are products that combine vitamin C with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid and other things that could be actives, so that way you're not having that same reaction, because they're using more stable forms of vitamin C and they're not using more of an unstable form of vitamin C. When you have vitamin C on its own in a serum, it's going to be a little bit more unstable. So I like to use Hyper. I really enjoy it. You only need like a few pumps. Now it goes on top of your essence if you're using an essence. This is because the essence, again, is prepping your skin to enhance the absorption of a lot of these products. If you're not using essence, then you just put vitamin C on top of your toner. Another thing to keep in mind is the strength of the vitamin C you're using if you're choosing to add vitamin C to your skincare routine. It's gonna be different. It all comes in different shapes and sizes. Like Hyper, for instance, I think this has 15%. If I'm wrong, I'll include it in some graphic someplace around here. There are other vitamin C serums that have 5%, 10%, 20%. All of it really depends on what your skin can handle. And if you're worried about any sort of sensitivity issues or any sort of reactions to vitamin C, try putting it in your moisturizer first. That's how I started. I put like a couple of drops of vitamin C serum in my moisturizer and added it that way. So by the time I ended up layering it the way that I'm layering now, I didn't experience tingling or burning or some of the sensations you get when your skin is reacting in a negative way to maybe a new product. So now that we've added our vitamin C and we're letting that seep in, the next thing I add is eye creams and eye serums. The reason why you want to add it at this stage is you want to make sure that your eye cream fully absorbs into the most delicate area of your face, which is your eye orbital area, and especially underneath the eyes. Now, I probably do something a little bit different than other people do because I went through, I would say, a traumatic experience this spring when I had like this funky allergic reaction and it sparked my eczema. And I had never ever had an eczema flare up on my eyes. It freaked me out to the point where I thought I had a bacterial infection. I went to urgent care. I went to like multiple doctors. Turns out it was just an eczema flare up. I started researching just different vitamins and ingredients that could possibly help, and I came across caffeine. Now, I normally used caffeine at night, not so much during the day, just to help with the puffiness and rebuilding process, and it also helps with the darkness under the eyes. What's so great about caffeine as it relates to eczema is that it is anti-inflammatory, but it's also soothing. It helps to soothe any sort of the redness and the pain that you might get, or even the itchiness that you might get from eczema. So I just started doing it like that, and I haven't looked back since. So I always add the caffeine first, and I use ordinary caffeine solution. It does the job. There might be other caffeine solutions that do the job, but this one does what I need. Just go through and dab underneath the eye. That's kind of step one of the eye serum. So the next thing I do is I do an eye cream. And I specifically like La Roche-Posay's Dermalargo, whatever. It's the eye cream for the eyes. Dermalargo, yeah, I think that's what it is. This specific one is specially formulated for sensitive eye. And so I just add like a little bit to my forefinger and just dab around the eye and underneath the eye. We've added our eye cream, we've let our vitamin C really seep in, all the layers that it's not leaving us a lot of layers. So now it's time for my serum. What I use is hyaluronic acid for my serum during the day. I use niacinamide at night. There's no rule or rhyme or reason for you or anybody else to do this. For me, I do it because hyaluronic acid is hydrating. It absorbs 1,000 times its weight in water. I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of as many of those benefits during the day when I need the most. Keep in mind, whenever you are using hyaluronic acid, is to make sure to apply it to moist skin. That is because it is pulling in a lot of weight and moisture, and if you are especially in dry climates, it's not going to pull anywhere else. It doesn't have any environment to pull from, so it eventually actually pulls from the deep layers of your skin, and you don't want that, because what happens in your skin will get drier and you're not getting the benefits associated with hyaluronic acid, because now it's just like drying out your skin because it's got to pull from someplace. I like to add rose water. I put aloe vera juice and then I mix it with the rose water, and that's what I spray on my face and my neck. Now with the hyaluronic acid, you don't need much, just a few drops, maybe 3. And I just press it into my skin and my neck. I used to do this thing where I would like glob on hyaluronic acid. oh, I need more, I didn't need more. It wasn't beneficial. It actually was harder for my skin to absorb. And so when I told you about kind of the pilling situation, that was when I was experiencing pilling. I need more glow. That means I need more hyaluronic acid. Bitch, no you don't. So now that our serum has fully absorbed and your skin is not feeling hopefully sticky at all and it's fully dry, it is time to moisturize. Now when you're thinking about moisturizers, make sure to remember what makes sense for your skin type. My skin type is very different. I also try to make sure that, especially in the summer times, I'm using a much lighter moisturizer. I go with a gel that's gonna absorb quickly and also is gonna manage any sort of additional oil production, because we're not trying to look shiny all day. We wanna look glowy all day, but we don't wanna look shiny all day. So I use right now Kiehl's. It's their Ultra Facial Oil-Free Gel Cream. I really, really like it. It does the job. It gives me the moisturizing that I need. It absorbs in quickly. It ensures that it is regulating a lot of that oil production during the day. Because what I don't like is heavy moisturizers on my skin in the summertime. It just feels heavy, it feels weighted, then it gets hot, and then I get hot, and then it becomes like a whole thing, and then I get upset. So I just eliminate all that nonsense. Facial moisturizer is about your skin type and what works best for you. Do you have oily skin, dry skin, etc.? Are you having acne issues with acne, rosacea? All of those things are something to take into account, especially when you're thinking about the best moisturizer specifically for you. Everything has fully absorbed. You've gotten what you need. You're feeling moisturized. You're feeling rich. You're feeling ready. But you've got to stay protected. So I'm going to today, I'm gonna go with the glow screen. I'm gonna go with the glow screen for this one because I do really like it. I am actually got other things to do, so I'm going to eliminate the necessity for foundation. Again, I really like this one because it allows me to have more of like a natural look during the day. Okay, so we've got our sunscreen on. This sunscreen, just the Supergoop sunscreens, also act as a primer. So if I'm adding any additional makeup to my face, I already know it's primed and I don't have to add anything else. But at this point, I've layered enough and I'm tired of adding layers. So anything that I can do to eliminate additional layering to my face and I can move on to the next thing, I'm here for it. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of Aquaphor to my lips, so that way my lips are protected. Now we're all set. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it looks pretty good. How's it looking? I'm feeling glowy. I feel like it's giving what I needed to give. It's giving glow, it's giving plump, it's giving moisturized, it's giving life. So again, a few things to keep in mind as you're thinking about your morning skincare routine or even your night skincare routine. When you layer from thinnest to thickest, keeping in mind that toners, water-based products are going to absorb more into the skin and prep your skin for some of those thicker products like serums and moisturizers. The other thing to make sure to keep in mind is the pH level of your skin and the pH level of your products. Make sure to always patch test your products before you decide to try something new if you have not tried it before. Keeping in mind your skin, the sensitivity of your skin type, what your skin needs, where you're at in the year, what time of year is it. All these things are going to be beneficial to you figuring out why you layer your skin, what you actually need, maybe what you don't want to try, and what it actually does. Also, make sure to let all of your skincare products absorb into your skin before you try something new. Normally in the morning, that entire process takes me about 20 minutes. I'm also a single mom, so I have to be mindful of my time, what I can do, what I can't do. I wake up earlier so that I can achieve the results that I'm looking for. more. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a little bit of something from this video, or it helped you make a better decision about what you want to do with your skincare in the mornings and how you want to layer. Definitely follow me on social. I'm across TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest at Balanced Beauty Lover. I also have a website where you can find more information about skincare, about beauty, about lifestyle, staying balanced, and more information about some of the products that I've mentioned here today. balancedbeautylover.com. All right, y'all, enjoy your day, and until next time, holla back.